So let's take a look at the computer science and digital fluency learning standards concept areas. Each of these concept areas is broken down into sections that will help you organize and think about what computer science and digital fluency is, and really give your students a strong foundation for whatever it is they want to pursue beyond your classroom. What we're going to do is scroll on that New York State Education Department page. So we're still on the Computer Science and Digital Fluency Learning Standards page that you bookmarked in the first part of this module. And then you're going to go down to that first link you see on the page, the New York State K-12 Computer Science and Digital Fluency Learning Standards, all grades. When we click on this link, it's going to open up as a PDF for us. And I want you to scroll down, and you may want to read all the information at the beginning if this is your first time through. But for this video, we're going to scroll to page 12 and look at each of the concept areas. The first concept area is impacts of computing. This is talking about how computing affects our world at local, national, and global levels, and that each person's behaviors and cultural and social interactions are influenced by computing. So we're really taking a look at how we can understand our impact of computing technologies and what it has had or what it has done on society, including personal, social, cultural, accessibility, legal, economic, and ethical lenses. So this concept area is broken down into 4 sub-concept areas. The first one is society, thinking about how our human structures, kind of function when we're talking about society. And then it goes on to ethics, where we're thinking about whether or not what we're creating and what we're using technology for is ethical. We want to think about bias, and we want to think about how the different ways that we create our computing programs, what impacts they may have, both positive and unintended, on society. Then we move into accessibility. Here we're looking at making sure that our end users all have access to whatever it is that we're building. And we want to make sure that we're thinking about our product design and that we're thinking about evaluating our computational artifacts to make sure that they are accessible. And then finally, we have career paths. Here we're taking a look at paths within computer science itself and thinking of the opportunities that computer science can offer us. The next concept area rather is computational thinking. Here we're thinking about problem solving. Truly, when you define computational thinking, you're thinking about ways that you can solve problems by using a computer. We're thinking about variables, algorithms, data analysis, decomposition, abstraction, modeling, simulation. We're thinking about breaking apart a problem into smaller parts, how we define it, how we organize all of the information, how we think about the different solutions that we can have. So really, these are those higher order thinkings, if you think of your Bloom's taxonomy, that we want to make sure our students are experiencing within the classroom. This is broken down into 4 sub-concept areas. The first one is modeling and simulation. Think about how you can simulate real-world phenomena and organize data to make predictions. In data analysis and visualization, we're thinking about the process of cleaning, transforming, organizing, clustering, and categorizing our data so it can be understood in different ways. And then when we get to abstraction and decomposition, we're thinking about reducing our complexity and breaking things down into parts. And then finally, algorithms and programming is following a sequence of steps. So we're really looking at sequencing here in order to provide instructions for maybe coding or anything that we're doing within a computer. The next concept area then is networks and systems design. This is where we're thinking about how we share data and resources and how the way our hardware and software are put together and how they help or how they're used within technology. So we're thinking about troubleshooting. We're thinking about how our data is stored and how it's inputted and how it comes out, and thinking about the complex functions of a computer. Hardware and software is the first sub-concept area. This is those physical components. And then we're talking about the programs that we run on those physical components. And then networks and the internet is really thinking about how we are connected and how data is stored and transferred. The next concept area is cybersecurity. Here we're thinking about how we can protect our data that we're giving whenever we touch the internet. And we're thinking about the physical, digital, and behavioral actions that can be done to make sure that we are secure. Here we're breaking it down into 3 sub-concept areas, the first being risk, thinking about how vulnerable we are as soon as we touch technology, what safeguards, which is the next concept area, or the sub-concept area rather, where we're thinking about protecting our data and what we can put in place to make sure that it's secure. And then finally, the last sub-concept area is response, thinking about what to do if a data breach has happened. Finally, we have digital literacy, and this is really thinking about our skills and what we're able to do as soon as we touch technology. We're understanding the benefits and the implications of using digital technologies and thinking about how we process and use the digital information to create, share, and modify. This is broken down into two subconcept areas. The first being digital use, thinking about using tech tools, and then finally digital citizenship, thinking about how we can empower our users to use online resources in a positive way and be able to make sure that we're respecting other people online and thinking about the validity of the resources that we find when we're on the internet. If you are not familiar with these subconcept areas, I highly recommend you take some time and look through them through this PDF and really explore what it says before you go on to the next one where we actually take a look at the standards.